You've got your phone buzzing, emails popping up, and a task list longer than your arm. So, what do? You multitask, of course. After all, if you can juggle everything at once, you'll be more productive, right? But here's a question. Is multitasking really helping you? Or is it a myth that's ruining your focus? Stick around as we dive into the psychological truth behind multitasking. Spoiler alert, it may not be the productivity hack you think it is. Before we bust any myths, let's clarify what we mean by multitasking. Multitasking is when you attempt to perform two or more tasks at the same time or switch quickly between tasks. For example, you might be writing an email while checking your social media feed or listening to a podcast while working on a report. On the surface, it seems efficient. After all, you're tackling multiple things at once. But here's the catch. Are you really doing them all well? Let's start with some science. Your brain is not designed to focus on multiple tasks at once. What's actually happening when you multitask is something called task switching. Instead of handling two things at the same time, your brain is rapidly switching between them, trying to split attention. While it may feel like you're multitasking, you're really just jumping from one thing to the next, and it's taking a toll on your mental resources. According to neuroscientist Dr. Earl Miller, one of the world's experts on divided attention, your brain can't focus on two tasks simultaneously. He explains that when people believe they are multitasking, they are really switching between tasks quickly, and this constant switching is inefficient. In fact, task switching can reduce your productivity by as much as 40%, according to a study by Dr. Gloria Mark from the University of California. So every time you think you're getting more done, you're actually losing focus, wasting time, and possibly even making more mistakes. Multitasking doesn't just reduce efficiency, it can also increase stress and cognitive load. Cognitive load refers to the total amount of mental effort being used in the working memory. When you try to manage multiple tasks at once, you increase this load and your brain becomes overwhelmed. This overload can lead to burnout, anxiety, and a general feeling of being mentally drained. Think about how you feel when you're juggling too many tasks, constantly interrupted by notifications, or trying to split your attention between work and distractions. It's stressful, right? That's because multitasking can actually elevate levels of the stress hormone cortisol, making you feel more anxious and less in control. There's even research from Stanford University that shows heavy multitaskers have more trouble filtering out irrelevant information and are slower at switching between tasks. They also experience more difficulty with memory recall, meaning that multitasking can make it harder to remember what you were doing or learning. In other words, multitasking might not just be hurting your focus right now. It could be affecting your brain in the long term. Another problem with multitasking is that it can lead to more errors. When you switch between tasks quickly, you're not giving any single task your full attention. This divided focus increases the likelihood of mistakes. A study by the American Psychological Association found that multitasking leads to lower accuracy in completing tasks. Whether you're sending out emails, driving, or even cooking, multitasking can result in errors that you'd likely avoid if you focused on one thing at a time. Consider this. Surgeons, pilots, and air traffic controllers all operate in environments where focus is critical, and mistakes can have dire consequences. These professionals rely on intense focus and minimizing distractions, rather than multitasking, to ensure that they perform their tasks accurately. If multitasking doesn't work well for them, why would it work for the rest of us? If multitasking is so inefficient, why do so many of us believe we're good at it? Psychologists suggest that this comes down to a combination of overconfidence and the dopamine-driven reward system in our brain. Every time you switch tasks, your brain gives you a little hit of dopamine, a chemical associated with pleasure and reward. This creates the illusion that you're being productive. In reality, you're just giving yourself a small burst of satisfaction while slowing down your actual progress. Additionally, many people overestimate their ability to multitask. Psychologists call this the illusion of competence, the belief that we're better at managing multiple tasks than we really are. Research shows that most people think they are above average multitaskers, but in reality, only about 2.5% of the population can actually multitask effectively. These people are known as supertaskers, and they are the rare exception rather than the rule. So, if multitasking is a myth, what's the alternative? The answer lies in something called deep work. Deep work is the ability to focus without distraction on a cognitively demanding task. Psychologist and author Cal Newport coined the term and argued that this kind of intense focus is becoming increasingly valuable in today's world. When you engage in deep work, you're able to produce higher quality results in less time because your brain is fully engaged in a single task. To achieve deep work, you need to eliminate distractions, dedicate specific time blocks to focus on one task, and train your brain to resist the temptation to multitask. This might sound hard at first, but with practice, you can improve your focus and get more done in less time. Newport's research shows that people who engage in deep work are often more successful, less stressed, and produce better results than those who constantly switch between tasks. Now that we know multitasking isn't the productivity booster we thought it was, how can we break the habit? Here are a few tips based on psychological research. Use the Pomodoro technique. This time management method involves working in short, focused bursts, usually 25 minutes, followed by a short break. This can help you maintain focus while also giving your brain time to rest. Turn off distractions. Eliminate the constant pinging of your phone or notifications by turning them off while you work. This reduces the temptation to switch tasks. Prioritize tasks. Create a to-do list and focus on completing one task before moving on to the next. It's much easier to stay focused when you have a clear plan. Practice mindfulness. Mindfulness exercises, like meditation, can help train your brain to focus better on the present moment, reducing the urge to multitask. Batch similar tasks. Instead of trying to switch between unrelated tasks, group similar tasks together and complete them in one go. For example, answer all your emails at once, then move on to a different task. So, is multitasking a productivity booster or a myth? The psychological truth is clear. Multitasking is more of a myth than a useful tool. It tricks us into thinking we're getting more done. But in reality, it lowers our efficiency, increases our stress levels, and makes us more prone to mistakes. While it might feel like you're saving time by juggling tasks, the science shows that focusing on one task at a time, engaging in deep work, is a much more effective way to boost productivity. By breaking the multitasking habit, you'll find that you can achieve more in less time and with less stress. So the next time you're tempted to juggle your work and distractions, remember, true productivity doesn't come from doing more at once. It comes from doing one thing really well. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe. How do you manage distractions in your daily life? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching and see you next time.